Your thoughts, actions, and feelings create your perception, and your perception becomes your reality. What you think and what you do. I'm always talking about in my training, thoughts and actions. First you plan, then you execute. What your thoughts are become your actions. And then that's kind of like people are like, oh, I manifested that. And it sounds like some woo-woo, hippy-dippy, fucking hairy-fairy nonsense. But you got everything that's ever been invented has been a thought first and then put to action. You know what I'm saying? All right, what's up, everybody? I'm Sean Nixon. This is John Matthew. Welcome to The Bridge, where everything is connected. How you feeling? First one on video?
Pretty good, yeah.
Fucking, we have like 1,000 recorded audio only that we'll fucking get to you savages eventually.
Yeah. First
eventually. But so I'm thinking like everything is connected in the universe. Everything is connected on Earth. And as, you know, strength coaches, physical trainers, you're a yoga teacher, both know a lot about nutrition. Everything's connected in the body as well, you know? As above, so is below and shit.
There you go.
So this is just a look into our brains as far as our philosophy on fitness and health. A million different ways to break it down. Like I was saying, I did this on the whiteboard on my YouTube channel already, but it's going to be way better bouncing ideas off of you.
Yeah, what do you, real quick though, first, what do you, so people you work with, right? So you've been coaching for a long time. Like, what do people define health as to you whenever they come to you?
It's a great point. 99% of people don't give a shit about health. They just want to be jacked and tan, bigger butts, bigger biceps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I just meet them where they're at and then focus on diet and training, and then you can slowly layer in mental health, emotional health, and then spiritual gets down the road, you know what I mean? Because I got mental health as learn every day, physical health as movement, emotional health as love, loving yourself, forgiving others, gratitude, and then spiritual health like chi, prana, the breath, the life force, right?
Yep.
And like I said on my channel, spirituality has nothing the fuck to do with religion unless you are religious and that's your connection, and that's good and great and fucking do your thing. I love it. And my definition of spirituality is being a good person no matter what has happened to you so you can heal and help others. What is your definition, or what do you think of when you hear the word spirituality?
Yeah, so I think of like a deeper connection to something beyond yourself.
Okay.
Which is why it gets tied to religion, because there's that usually the God figure, right, in religion. So,
yeah, some people don't like the word God, but you could replace it with fucking energy,
universe,
or
love,
the universe,
yeah.
or love.
There's a lot of different
quantum
things. Yeah, people just get caught
quantum
up
physics
with
and shit, like the quantum realm. That's everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I just find it as like a deeper connection to your true self, higher self.
Oh, I like that.
So
then you don't even got to say soul or spirit, just a connection
yeah,
to your higher self.
words
like
get
that.
squirrely because people get offended by words and caught up with words.
Oh boy,
But
the word
words,
police.
Words are just constructs.
We're here, just so you know, we're here to fucking offend people. I heard Tim Kennedy call it weeding the grass. So he's like, I curse and act normal in the ads in the beginning. So if you fucking click off, you've been fair warned what the fuck we're going to talk about. Because then you're not going to be able to handle
That's fair.
fucking
right?
sex, drugs, and rock and roll and fucking plant medicine and all the deep shit we're going to get into eventually. I mean, we'll just keep it real with some movement and some food and some yoga and some mental health, first of all. But yeah, but that's like weeding the grass, And you were saying before, like, it sounds like a corny cliche, like I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. And it does sound corny, but it's like, that's me, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't think you need to be in a religion to have a spiritual connection.
Of course not.
Religion is just a man-made construct, so it's just...
Absolutely.
So like if there's a guy in the middle of the forest in 5,000 BCE with no organized religion, does that guy have a spiritual connection? I think he does.
Yeah, he has maybe more, because he's not distracted by all this other bullshit. That's a great point.
So yeah, that's not a knock on religion.
I said like all religions... No religion is true, but all religions contain truths that we can learn from. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, people get, I know black people are upset with like Christianity, or some people just like hate Islam or whatever. Or paranoid about it, it's just, but if you actually go and look at it with the perspective.
It's the same messages.
Yeah, and then hopefully we'll provide you some of that perspective, because you've probably read it before, heard it before, maybe you have one perspective or interpretation of it. But there's there's layers
Yeah.
as we're going through this, right?
But once you said the word hate, then you fucking lost the message already.
Yeah. So if you can't have hate and love in your heart at the same time. So
That's
next
right.
time you hate a person, you're not loving anything.
I don't know that you're just hating yourself for something, and you're seeing that in someone else, and you're fucking judging them.
And there you go.
And that's a bunch of bullshit. But we'll get to all that. Usually, people just come to you for physical. They're like, I want to lose some weight. I want to gain some muscle. I want to be jacked and tan, bigger butts, bigger biceps, which is cool. And then you got to, get them in the habit or changing habits of exercise and layering in diet and nutrition, which is the number one thing.
Yeah.
And then people are more and more talking about mental health as it regards to diet, recovery, and exercise, which they fucking well should. But then you gotta get a little deeper, because eventually over time, you build and you realize you get to some type of physical plateau where you gotta go deeper into yourself, into your mind to make new gains and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think, with mental health now, like, I think even that's almost becoming, like, people are getting caught up with the words with that, too, as well.
Oh, word, okay.
I'm seeing people get caught up with it and not getting to the root, because if you get to the root, I mean, if you keep moving down, it all really stems from this one. Like, that's
why they're in order. None of them are more important than the other. They're all equal, but that's why they're layered like that.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll get to a bunch of stuff as we go through this whole podcast series, but I mean, this encompasses everything. So if you're focusing on this, then all these things will, as a matter of course,
will line up. Exactly.
We'll
but most people don't start there. Most people start there. They think they're on two. They're really on one. We start them on two, get to one, and then layer down.
Yeah.
And then you get to what you said. Once you get to this, everything else takes care of itself. So that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And then the biggest thing, like you said, is diet is the foundation for all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what you consume in all four, not just consumption in terms of like food, which we think where the word consume, but consume mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, everything you're taking into your experience, that becomes the foundation for your layer of health.
Not only what you eat and you drink and your supplements and the drugs you take, but fucking what you watch, what you read, what you listen to, what you click on.
What you just pay attention to.
What your energy goes paying attention to, your coworkers, your friends. That is your diet. That is your fucking lifestyle, and that affects everything.
Yeah, if you think of, like, we got some nice plants. I gotta get to repot these, but they're good though. If you got plants, right? If you think of those plants as all the major aspects of your life, the ones you attend to will keep growing. So if you start,
absolutely.
So if you're watching, like fear-mongering news or scrolling through bullshit nonsense on the internet, like, that plant's going to grow, and all of a sudden that's going to be the only plant you're going to have to take care of, and you're going to have to take care of it because you've been taking care of it.
I've never seen any fear-mongering news, though. Usually all the news channels are on the same page, and they all tell the truth.
Oh, of course.
And they all tell you to love each other and exercise and everybody get along. And they would never fucking lie for their own benefit and put a spin on anything. No, I mean, I've never seen that. I don't know if
they're all nonprofits, right? They're just doing it.
I mean, they're just there to tell the truth and help people.
They're just doing it out of the kindness of their hearts.
And then I love this. This is kind of like some Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, fucking a little bit of us, a little bit of Bruce Lee, a little bit of everybody. Yeah. Your thoughts, actions, and feelings create your perception, and your perception becomes your reality. What you think and what you do. I'm always talking about in my training, thoughts and actions. First you plan, then you execute. What your thoughts are become your actions. And then that's kind of like, people are like, oh, I manifested that. And it sounds like some woo-woo, hippy-dippy, fucking hairy-fairy nonsense. But you got everything that's ever been invented has been a thought first and then put to action. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, planes didn't exist before planes existed. It sounds silly to say that, but...
Bro, that's a perfect example. Bro, the Wright brothers were bicycle mechanics.
Exactly.
And people laughed at them. They were like, you can't fly. They're like, well, I know how to make something ride on the ground, and I have an idea, so why don't we fucking try it?
Yeah, so, and that's another, like, believing is seeing, seeing is believing kind of thing. So if you have the idea, again, like you said, like, everything that's been created, because, the essence of existence is creation, right? It's like everything that's been created has come from that ether, that mind, wherever that space is where those ideas come from, which is a whole other
I was going to say, we need to get into fucking collective consciousness and all this other shit, but, like, that makes sense. At least it was somebody's idea. I mean, you ever have an idea that just pops into your head? I know I have.
All the time.
All the fucking time.
I got sticky notes all over the place.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Shit looks like memento and shit.
Yeah.
All over the place. I'm going to start writing on my fucking tattooing myself.
That's a good idea.
But, I always say diet is the most important thing for everything, because you ever hear people who are like, well, it's fucking 70% diet, bro, or 80%. They just make up these
arbitrary numbers.
Yeah. I'm saying it's 100% diet, because, you can fucking control your calories and what you're eating and fucking sit on the couch and either stay the same or fucking grow or lose weight. You know what I mean? That's not the most optimal way to do it, but you can control, you always can control what goes into and what comes out of your mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you fucking exercise fucking 10 times a week and go home and eat pizza and ice cream, you're not going to fucking make too much progress.
Yeah.
Depending on fucking calories and goals and everything else. But the point is, diet is always the foundation.
So let's break that down from, so let's go through from like the mental and start with diet there. So in terms of consumption, what do you see most people are consuming in terms of their mental health, and what should they be, not should is the wrong word, but
right.
What can they be consuming
can be more optimal or whatever,
to get them to their goals of, and people's goals, like you said, people want to get the big butt check, all that's an underlying goal of I want to be happy, all that's I want to accept myself, and all that's I'm afraid of death, so if we're talking layers of like why, reasoning behind actions. There's you're either acting out of love or acting out of fear. So there's one of those two things. So
that's huge.
So I guess this goes with mental, and we tap on emotional. I'm just going to kind of roll with it. But
dude, I love that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going, I want to look this way because I'm afraid that if I don't, I will not be accepted. I won't accept myself. That's an action out of fear. And anything out of fear is you're going to be inherently.
Yeah, it's not a state of growth, fear.
No, yes, it's really hard. And again, like we mentioned before, like it's hard to have hate or hard to have fear and love at the same time.
Yeah.
So, and with all things, you need love for things to grow, not just like in a metaphorically moving sense, but like what we just talked about, the attention you give. So if you're afraid, if you're in a space of fear, you're never going to even, you maybe make some progress, and that fear is going to dip you back down because it's in contradiction to what you've been telling yourself. Anytime you make progress, you're afraid that you're not going to be something. So as soon as you make any progress towards being that, you can tell yourself, well, you've always been this way, so you can't be that way, right? So mentally, in terms of consumption, like what kind of thoughts are you consuming? What are you feeding yourself?
Perfect. You blew my mind, because that's when I started working out, was completely out of fear of what you said, fear of death, because I was fucking eating way too much and doing drugs and not fucking treating my body and my mind properly. Talk about fucking 24/7 negative thoughts, and kind of like wanted to die, but too pussy to kill myself. Yeah. So like killing myself slowly with drugs and food and negative thoughts and bad actions and stuff like that. Internally. Only to myself. I never hurt anybody else really. 99.9% of it was fucking all on me. Yeah. Which also negatively affects the people around you.
Yeah.
But then, like you said, you get to a fucking plateau at a certain point and you're like, oh, do I need more supplements? Do I need less food? Do I need more exercise? Do I need more of this? No, I had to flip it to make it sustainable. And now I train out of loving myself and learning more so I can help others. And that's how I become better now.
And that never ends like that.
Yeah.
My energy you have from that never ends. It doesn't sap you. It gives you more energy. So it's like people get caught up in the cycle of trying to make progress physically and then mentally, emotionally, spiritually, they're all blocked because they're acting out of fear, right? And then that fear keeps you, like say again, like if I'm someone who's overweight, which again is a large percentage of the population, and wants to lose weight, which is, one thing to talk about too with body image and ideals and stuff like that, which has been projected, but that's again a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe a red pill sometime, but
yeah.
Definitely. But say I'll lose weight, but then I've always been this way. Say I've been this way for 10 years, I gained weight and never put off and just become who I am. So now the idea of becoming somebody else means this person essentially has to die. Just to end for that to happen.
You got to let go of your old bullshit.
Yeah,
and your old belief systems.
But that's death. That's like I
death of an old of your old self.
Yeah, and like I did a yoga. I mean, my theme for my yoga class last week was letting go because we're in the fall season, right?
Awesome. So
trees are dropping off the ground. From the trees, it looks beautiful. But
the tree's not afraid to let go of the leaves.
Yeah, but I mean, it has to let go of the leaves.
It's preparing for winter, and it knows spring is coming.
Spring is coming. It trusts that spring is coming, but it has to let go, because if it doesn't let go, it will never ever grow. It will never ever bloom again. Something bigger,
trust.
Brighter. So,
I love that. So letting go of your old shit is because people are like, all right, I want to lose 50 pounds, or I want to lose 4 pounds, or whatever. I'm like, okay, why? And then get deeper why. And it's like, all right, are you willing to leave those old thoughts and emotions in the past and be able to grow? And they're like, I just wanted to lose weight. I'm like, okay, but who are you going to be, after that journey? People think they're going to be the same self, just skinnier. That's how,
You can't.
80% of people fail. You cannot.
Yeah.
You got to let go of your old shit.
I think of all the people who relapse into not just weight loss, but any kind of thing that ends
Yeah, it's 80%. It's 8 out of 10 people that lose weight, gain it all
they're the
back,
same person
if not
here
more.
and here. You know?
Because they haven't worked on the mental, emotional, and spiritual. They think it's all about calories, which in the beginning it is. It's about exercise consistency and finding your caloric base. And then once that's a habit, then you got to look deeper.
Yeah. So I mean, you broke it down there. Just go touch on the physical, and now we're gonna pop over to the physical. Like it's not. I don't say it's
And
that
real quick
simple.
though, with the mental, people don't realize that diet, as far as speaking specifically on nutrition, has a huge effect on mental health.
Exactly. So
They're
it's not
just starting to understand that exercise helps a lot, and there's other things that help, and we'll do a whole set of videos on that. But if you're eating junk and consuming junk, like you said, whether it's fearful media or negativity with the people around you, but fucking junk food and things that don't digest well, that's fucking up your mental health and your gut health and everything
and
else.
they're definitely finding now that what you eat can change your change your genes.
100%.
So you're changing what you'll pass on to your kids. So if you live on a healthy lifestyle, live in a healthy way, that changes the expression of your genes you pass on to your kid now.
Think about the kids, goddammit.
I mean,
some of you fucks shouldn't be having kids anyway.
Yeah, it's true. Just
it's a whole nother topic.
Triple up, you got to do what you got to do. Dorito bag, whatever's around.
Bag for you, bag for her, bag for the cameraman, whatever you gotta do. So yeah, physical real quick. I mean, that's usually, like I said, where people think they want to start. And I like a balance there too, as well as active recovery. Let's call it elevated heart rate stuff, because I don't want to say cardio and think about long, slow, fucking boring treadmill shit.
Yeah.
And then obviously resistance training, but then also you don't always want to work out energy. You want to work in some energy too. So that's when we're talking about Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga, meditation. I mean, I got meditation down here as far as breaking it down. But like you said, for physical, I know a lot of people like myself.
Everything's connected. So.
Everything might be connected. And you'll see that's a theme. But like, I like the whole fucking duality, yin and yang spectrum of fucking cranking fucking hard rock and fucking gangster rap and banging weights, and then coming home and meditating and doing yoga, and so you can fucking wind down too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's definitely balance. I mean, and that's not something that you just get to. You never get to like a state of balance, like with all these layers, right? There's never like, I've achieved this, I have achieved balance now in my physical. It's a constant thing, right?
Check.
Like if you stand on one foot, you don't achieve balance.
Oh, good point. Right.
Your foot's constantly moving back and forth.
Yeah, balance and stability.
Maybe you even get good enough where it doesn't feel like it, but it's still doing it. There's still no inspiring.
Active.
It's active. Balance is an active thing. So I think people need to get out of the way.
I like that.
Of this destination.
Physically and mentally.
Yeah, because that sets you up for failure. If I think I'm going to get to a spot where I can stop, right? Because that's why people think of a destination, is because I get there and I can stop.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Like, I just want to lose 4 pounds, and then I'm going to stop working out.
Then I'm done.
I'm like, well, that doesn't sound like, so you're going to die?
Yeah, so.
But I have this thing to go to when I want to fit in this dress. I'm like, great, but what are you going to do after that? Or that's all like the fucking P90X or 30-day cleanse and all this shit. It's like, okay, great. What are you going to do on the 31st day? I'm like, oh, I haven't thought that far. Like, good thing I'm here, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm taking care of you guys.
Yeah, because it's again, like, all these words are being used, right? Like health and lifestyle coaches, but like it's your lifestyle essentially. It's changing who you are going to be.
It really is. Like you said, that's another corny cliche. Like, well, it's lifestyle, bro. But like, it is. Whether you want to fucking make it that or just believe that, you have to believe that.
You're literally becoming a different person. So.
Yeah, you have to. That's the only way. Like, you talk about transformation fucking Tuesday or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And they show 2 pictures, and one guy's fat and one guy's skinny, but it's like, where are you now? Where is the mental growth? Where is the emotional and spiritual growth? If you can show that too, then I'm sure I'll see a picture of somebody, I was going to say just as lean, but maybe even better physically.
Yeah, and like for anybody who's like still skeptical about, or just not, or that they don't even need mental, emotional, or spiritual, it will absolutely 1,000% make the physical journey, if that's all you're concerned about, way easier, way more sustainable, way more rewarding.
Yep. And maybe you don't have to start there, but if I was starting from somebody from scratch, like say a super rich guy had me program everything, I would fucking do all of his diet and just have him not think about that. But I would start him meditating every morning, doing a gratitude fucking journal or some shit at night. Obviously working out every single day, whether it be fucking 4 days a week weights, 1 or 2 days a week cardio, 1 or 2 days a week yoga, and then fucking mental health, doing whatever we got to do. That one's another. Each one's individually tailored and stuff to everybody, but I would start with all of them. But most people, like you said, are starting with the physical. And some people don't even realize how important nutrition is, like we were saying.
That blows my mind now still with the internet. Because if anything, now people have too much information about what's good for you, what's bad for you. Like, everything's a superfood. Like, that shit up there might be a superfood. I don't know. Like,
sure.
Like,
what
everything.
What does that even mean?
Superfood.
Is that just high dense micronutrients, or it's just a catchphrase?
It's just high dense micronutrients, really.
Right.
Because
I'll fuck with that.
because goji berries are that's a big one. I remember when the whole superfood thing came out, like, was a superfood, and the only reason it's a superfood is because it has like 6,000% of your daily value of vitamin C, but vitamin C is water soluble, and you don't necessarily need that much.
Yeah, 6,000.
Yeah, like
that's a great American mindset.
I know, right? If
100% is perfect, 6,000 might be better.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
Well, that's like that Ron Swanson quote, like, give it 100%. Anybody who says 101% is stupid. You don't listen to him, because it's impossible. So
this whole fucking podcast can be Ron Swanson quotes, and we'd be just fine.
Yeah, for the most part.
So how the fuck does somebody like yourself, because I can only speak for myself, stumble into a spiritual practice? Or, like, where did you start? Yeah, that's a fucking softball question for you.
Yeah, right. So, 100-mile-per-hour fastball right there. It's okay, though. I got it.
Okay. I mean, listen, I'm just saying, because I have, mental health issues and stuff with depression. I'm not perfect like you. Yeah. I'm not,
Yeah, really? Is that,
I'm not sleeping.
Is that how we got to know each other?
12 hours a night, fucking skipping down the street, farting rainbows.
I don't know if I, can you, is that unhealthy to sleep 12 hours a night?
It is. There is no such thing as too much sleep.
Okay.
I was fucking joking. But.
So, I mean, we talked about religion. Like, I was raised religious. Most of my family was religious. My grandfather was a pastor.
Oh, cool.
Lutheran. I'm raised Lutheran. So, a lot of people I know who are against Christianity were raised super strict Roman Catholic, and that's their aversity to Christianity. But I was raised fine. Like, Christianity was not oppressive. It wasn't like it wasn't this evil controlling thing at all. Like, Lutheran church is like super chill. My family's super chill. Like, some of my family's a little bit more religious than others, and my mom is probably, I would say, the most spiritual. When we talk about spiritual versus religion, she's religious, but she's also has a little touch of spirituality to her. More. So I always grew up kind of believing in God and like talking with God and praying and having a personal connection to that.
I love that. I think that's awesome. I'm sorry to cut you off, but when you say the word God, are you talking about an old white guy with a beard and gray hair that lives in the clouds and gives you presents on Christmas?
I never bought into that.
Judges you? Sends you to hell?
Oh, wow, all those. That's a lot of
responsibility. Or you just meant whatever, higher power. Yeah, that's what it feels like. A lot of pressure and a lot of responsibility. Yeah. If your dick gets hard and you touch it, you're going to hell. You're like, oh, fuck. What am I supposed to do? Burn. Oh, burn. Better luck next time.
Through. Yeah, Jesus.
Yo, like a cartoon, you just burning flames. That doesn't sound like a good
like in Dante's Inferno, is there a ring just for masturbation? Because there's probably a lot of people.
Probably. That's probably the outer layer ring.
The outer layer ring.
There for like 1,000 years. Like, all right. You get a little obsessive with it.
Control yourself. Self-control.
I'll be there for a while.
So what were you saying before?
Like a definition of God. I'm dropping the big fucking questions.
Yeah, no. I never was. I mean, like I always envisioned it as the more Old Testament-y God, which is this higher power, less Jesus is.
Before it got hijacked for politics, and it was like the Lord God
I'm
judging you.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Jesus. Like as a spiritual teacher and philosopher and guru, sage, whatever you want to put him, because that's essentially what he was. But like that him being the guy in heaven that's like sitting down watching all like that's.
No, that's the silly part. That's where you lose me. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I just love it.
It's a story. It's a really great story. The Bible's an epic story. So like,
that's the thing.
Enjoy it.
Just enjoy the story, learn from it, and keep on moving. Don't fucking.
Yeah.
I love it. I always, like I said, I grew up like atheist and fucking hating basically all religions just because of what you said. They hated each other and all this judging and stuff like that. And I didn't think into it deeper. Until I took a whole bunch of mushrooms and then I started seeing things differently.
But so that was the original question, right? Like how I get into spiritual.
that was a whole other thing. But I was just like, Jesus seems like a good guy. I don't know why everybody's fucking changing the story. I was like, he was a carpenter that did a bunch of magic tricks and told everybody to get along, and then they beat the shit out of him. And then I was like,
and then everyone's like, I'm going to go to
changed the
war
whole
for
story.
him.
And then you went to war with
Jesus would want me to kill all of you.
Right, that doesn't make any sense.
makes
I'm
no
like,
sense.
y'all missed the fucking
Makes
point of
no
that
sense.
story. That's why I like reading like Eastern shit and like Buddhism and Hinduism and stuff, because they mention Jesus. They're like, yeah, he was a fucking cool guy, but you guys worshiping him, you kind of missed the point of his story.
And also in Christianity, like worshiping false idols, but then we just make an idol out of this idol that told us not to make an idol.
So much hypocrisy and contradictions. That's why it fucking blew my mind.
And
until I
also,
thought further
we're talking
into
about
it.
layers. Like, we're also playing like a thousands of years game of telephone. You
Yes.
know, like, because who knows if it was a story at first, oral story, translation, and all of a sudden, the King James, what did he do to it, and what did the Rosetta Stone do to it, and who knows?
I mean, a king doesn't sound like he would do anything nefarious or bad.
No, or
Seems
manipulative.
Like or manipulative for his own benefit.
Just like the media.
Oh, bro. Don't even get me started. That's what this fucking show should be called. Fucking deprogramming the matrix and getting you to think for yourself.
Yeah, that's the tough one.
Because that's what we're here for. To fucking
We'll
teach you the
get
shit.
there. We'll get
To
there.
teach you the shit they don't teach you in school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How to breathe, how to walk, how to sit, how to stand, how to fucking eat.
Yeah.
Simple fucking stuff. It's like
Simple fucking things, all right, huh?
I'm serious. It's like people. It's like when was the last time you took a sip of water? It's like, oh fuck,
shit.
I've been working all day. It's like, okay, but working for what and why? And what about yourself? Take a moment for yourself every now and then.
Slow down. That's
Yeah.
one thing I need to do more, slow down. So for me, like, and that's like, to people, your mind can be three places, right? It can be in the future, the past, the present, right? It's like those are the three places it can be, right? It's the future. I'm worried about something that I have no control, very little control
Which is
over,
anxiety.
which is anxiety. And then in the past, right, is depression because I'm sad about things that happened that I define myself as.
Yep.
So I'm either running from something or trying to run to something that I don't know exists yet. So
But they're both fictional.
another way, I'm rushing around, just trying to like fix things or prevent things from happening, and I have very little control.
You're either fucking sad from a memory or anxious from a fucking future imagined fucking
Yeah, and like
fantasy.
anytime you think that like you have some sort of semblance of control, which I mean, sure you maybe do a little bit, consciously. You think you do consciously, but every time you think that and get worried about controlling things, like you didn't even have the say to even exist. So your existence is beyond your conscious control because you didn't even have a brain to think about it. So, when you think
Some trippy shit.
yeah, it is trippy shit. Like when people tell me when people act like they know everything about the universe and they clearly don't, I'm like, you didn't even choose to be here, and you're telling me how this thing works. You're inside of it.
Once anybody says they know everything about anything, I'm like, okay. I start walking slowly
You're
backwards.
inside of a box.
Like the
and
Homer
you're telling
Simpson
me what the outside of the box
GIF
looks
into
like.
the fucking bushes. That's when I start melting backwards.
Dude, oh my
like,
God.
oh, you know everything now, do you?
Yeah, God.
I'm like, well, job's done here.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Don't need me anymore.
Well, this is especially important for those people, right?
Well, hopefully.
Pema Chodron has some quote. Well, she has a quote from somebody else. Has a quote.
Uh-huh.
Some guru, I forget his name, but like go to places that scare you, help the people you think you can't help. And then there's one last part of that I forget, so I'm butchering that. But the second part, help the people you think you can't help. The people who think they don't need help, are the people that need the help the most.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing.
Because everybody who wants help has been.
Google that quote. We need a good quote.
Yeah,
Google
yeah.
that, and
I'm
I'll
gonna
keep
get
rambling
you.
about this because
I'm
I'm
gonna get you,
thinking we
Pema.
could do a whole episode on each one individually to break them down more. A whole mental health episode and break it down. A whole physical health episode and break it down. Oh, I know what I want to talk about. Emotional health. Like, that's not necessarily, people hear emotional guys and they're like, oh, and they're fucking turned off right away. I'm not necessarily talking about romantic fucking love whatsoever. I'm talking about loving yourself and loving what you do. You know what I mean? We've all seen people explode on other people with their emotions and take things out on other people. And we've seen people stuff their emotions down and not deal with their feelings.
Yeah.
So I tell people you never want to use logic to deal with emotions or emotions to deal with logic. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Let feel your feelings, be with it, take a deep breath, and then decide how to react so you're not reacting emotionally. But also, when you have feelings, don't fucking stuff them down either.
Yeah.
You know? And believe it or not, guys, I'm not perfect. I'm working on this shit too. I'm not like John here that's figured it all out. Fucking perfect.
That's probably the thing.
That's hardly the case.
No. Tara Brach, Radical Self-Acceptance, another really, really good book. If you guys want to check that out.
It's a writer downer.
Yeah, it talks about, and this is a tenet of Buddhism and really all spiritual practices. Essentially, you'll find it in there, but that pause or that moment of taking a breath, just sitting there, just sitting with your emotions, sitting with your feelings, and letting them be what they are rather than trying to run or attack them. Just letting them be there.
I was going to say, that reminds me of Viktor Frankl when he's talking about in between the stimulus and your reaction is that moment where you get to choose.
Yeah, that's right.
And so it's like always taking a fucking
that's
deep
one of the
breath.
best books you got to read. Anyone's got to read, I think.
Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl. If you haven't read that, you're fucking up.
I mean, yeah,
Get to Google.
perspective, because everybody's got problems. That guy had problems, like people who lived in that situation had problems, that real problems.
Well, that's the thing. When people are like, oh, I had no time and I had this and that, it's like everybody's busy. Everybody has problems, so now we're even.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let's go. What are we going to fucking
This
do
guy
now?
was in a Nazi concentration camp for so many years. They can read the
That gives you perspective, and that's what we're saying. Your fucking perception and your perspective is everything. If you can't change your situation, change your perspective, and you'll feel a lot better. You know what I mean? Did you find that quote from Pema?
No, I did not.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Doesn't know how to use the Google machine. We got to end on some kind of good quote. Let's wrap this bitch up so everybody doesn't fucking get angry. That's too long and they don't click on our shit. Should already be fucking subscribed. You should already hit the like button fucking 17 times.
Instagram, The Bridge podcast.
Send it to all your friends. God damn it.
Yeah, we're getting some more stuff. So
And more importantly, comments and questions in the comment section. So questions that we can answer, and then type of shows that you want to see and shit you want to hear about. You know what I mean? Because right now this was just an overview to let us know about something.
Yeah,
Pull up a fucking Rumi quote or something. What do you got?
Ooh.
Something to fucking sum us up and take us out of here.
Oh, I like this one.
beautiful.
I mean, this will go into...
Drop it on them.
It's touching the emotional, but, in terms of, becoming a better person, you got to keep breaking your heart until it opens. So I think that's the Rumi quote right there.
Wow. See, you fucking hit me with the big ones. You gonna fucking get me to cry on the first episode? Son of a bitch. We're gonna save
So
it.
we're going to break your heart this whole show. It's
No,
gonna
I
be,
like it
it's
because you
gonna
gotta
be
let
good.
go of your. I wrote on my shit. You gotta let go of your old BS. You gotta let go of your old bullshit and your old belief systems. Because if you're stuck dogmatically to a belief system, then you can't learn, and if you can't learn, you can't grow, and if you can't love, you can't grow, and if you don't breathe, you're not gonna grow.
Yeah, like for me, the 3 steps there is let go, and that's the past. Accept, which is the present, and then grow, which is the future.
Boom.
Let go.
Write the
accept,
fuck
grow.
that shit down, motherfuckers.
Boom. Bridge it, bitch.
Let go of the past. Say it again.
Let go of the past, accept the present, and then grow into the future.
Bro, letting go, acceptance, growth. Work hard, love yourself, love your neighbor. They're the same fucking guy. It's beautiful.
The bridge.
The bridge, baby. Back at you in the next one. Peace.